I've always collected records. My wife and I went to a friend's house, having a late one, and he played some records which I didn't think were particularly rare, and she's like, I love all this. I was like, I can show you better this. She said, you never show me anything. We have a house of records, and it's true. So I then set about doing an hourly cast, like twice a week of what I buy. By that, started to realize, oh, she's really into the more twisted, and then found myself digging deeper into it and loving it. So that's really what all this is about, is that I have this other love of melancholy, twisted, you know, even today I've lost my dog Florence, the set's for her, but you can feel that melancholy tones to it, and that's what music's about. So I wanted to bring something that was totally alien. People wouldn't expect that from me. I find it the best thing in my old life that you just keep taking time out to listen to new music. It's an expensive hobby, but you know, you have to put in if you take out. It's so easy for us at this point to go backwards, but there's a whole new generation. I could play what I play all the time, but that's not going to get new fans or new people, or that random person who would never listen to Mr. G thinking, oh wow, this track here is me. And that's what I tried to do, left, right, up, down, but all within the same bread. I've always loved ambient music. Just last year I found my original Aphex Twin that's just been released, and I played one in there. This is really timeless, amazing music. I didn't even hear it like that at the time. I wasn't ready for it when it came out. Can you imagine, all these years later, only now you're in that? So going into ambient music has been interesting because all the different layers, some vocals, some no vocals, some heavy bass, some no bass. So I've just been going through it all and finding who I find, and it's a journey I'm absolutely loving. The one in the set I love is the bass heavy one. It's like a face plant in the greenhouse. It just does something that very few bass heavy records go, and then where the old boys talking about, yeah, analog sound win a rush. That just appeals to me, and it's a older reissue. Sound control, electrocution dub. That thing is just heavy. It just touches a whole heap of places. And when I play, I got a valve set at home, so you can imagine, it's like Sodom and Gomorrah, the walls are coming down, you're at the back of the room with your head with the bass. I love that. And the other one I love, the Sato. It's an old art experience he did. He recorded it at the time, 3-4 years later decided to release it, but it really is a snapshot of, I mean, it was during COVID, so we had to go through all that in the States, set up in some kind of warehouse studio to do it. You can feel all the clicks, and yeah, love that. Making the album for me was the hardest journey and hardest thing I've ever done, because like everything, I've done a jazz album, I've done a more breaky album, a soul, I've done this one, I couldn't understand restraint, because, you know, from techno it's in, boom, Mr. G, in, boom, you know, ambient ain't like that. So for the first, I think 10 days, it was about don't touch the desk and get used to just letting things roll, which for me was brutal, because my whole thing, everything I do is about, let's get in, let's do it, let's, you know, when it's bass there, let's do, whereas when you do ambient music, it's about emotion and restraint, and it was the best thing ever for me, because once I hit that zone of, oh, I get it now, you just let it roll till you feel something. So I did, I think 15 tracks over as many days, right mix, I don't listen to anything, don't check it, nothing, just feel it's in the right zone, stop. And then 10 days later, I started to go through it, and I was beyond surprised. The door I came in as an older man, and I'm not a bitter old man, I'm a guy saying, the journey I had in here was the best journey ever. I got alive, I did well, I made music because I stayed left and I had opportunity. That opportunity seems to be less and less. You have to invest in so much more to get out. So rather than take a risk and do something left as your first, you're going to go for something that's going to chart, which is not really the creative way for me. This mix is not about you dip in and dip out. It's about set an hour aside with a friend or a drink. You can even have it in the background, the car, but just take time and listen, because I am sure the selection there, something will touch you.